So now the dynamic leaders are on stage. We have the moderator with us. But before that, let me ask you, are you ready? Tayar ho? All right, so over to the moderator, sir. Please take it over from here.
Thank you so much for the wonderful introductions for the fantastic panel here.
Thank you.
It is my honor indeed to be moderating this session filled with fantastic panelists. So obviously we have had different panels, throughout the day, and this is a panel that's following, a great panel discussion. So obviously we have big shoes to fill, but I hope we don't disappoint all of you. This panel actually, if you have seen, is an eclectic mix of very old traditional businesses which have sustained the test of time, proving the resilience, and also new age startups, breaking through the clutter. So I think this is going to be a very interesting discussion. On that note, we would like to start off. So essentially, the discussion is that how exactly are we creating consumer impact through technology, supply chains, beginning with a small introduction of you, your company, and what you would like to say. And also, if you can address the question of how exactly has been the role of technology in shaping India's retail sector, specifically your particular case or sector, that will be more relevant for the audience to understand your background and context as well. So I would like to start off with Ms. Sujatha.
Thank you, Yeshwanth. Good evening, everyone. Very happy to be a part of, amongst this prestigious panel. So I'm Sujatha, and I represent a company called Donracks. Donracks is a manufacturer of storage fixtures for the retail stores, predominantly the grocery segment, as well as the warehouse division as well. So we have our state-of-the-art facility, which is about 1 lakh square feet, which is in Chennai. We have, high-end technology in terms of catering to the strength and the life of the racks, which is required. We are proud to say that a customer who's bought racks from us 20 years back has been using our products as well. So far, everything has been good. We have about 250 employees working for us. We have done installations, more than 10,000 installations across India. We have our installation teams across India. And our major customers, I'm proud to say that the title sponsor, Ratnadeep, is one of our major clients. We've executed about 250 stores for Chroma. Apollo Pharmacy is also our major customer. We've done the warehouses across India for them. So why Donracks? Why are we here? We are here to help you set up your stores and your distribution centers. So that's what we do. Yeah, thank you.
That's fantastic, Sujatha. And also, if you could explain on the role of technology, like how exactly has technology impacted your sector, it would be a great eye-opener for all of us.
Sure. So in today's world, in terms of the labor, the labor intense, it's very intense, and in terms of an efficient or a good inventory system is lacking in India. I mean, we've still not grown to that stage. So now the retailers or the DCs or the warehouses, they're looking at warehouse automation. So we are also into that area where we help customers in terms of integrating automation along with racking, for picking up, for sorting, for packaging, and in terms of fulfilling their centers, faster fulfilling in their centers with less or no error. So this is something that we are into as well. Yeah, in terms of technology. Yes.
Great. Thank you so much, Sujatha, for the great introduction. And I think half of the people here are already your clients. So
yes, thank you.
Great.
Forgot to mention again even
half of the panel is also
yes,
clients.
my clients. Yeah, thank
That's
you.
great. So we move on to Mr. Ravi Kumar, who's the director of Sampoorna Retail. Sir, if you could also explain, introduce yourself and the company, and also shed some light on this topic. It will be great for all of us.
Good evening, everybody, and thank you for giving this opportunity by RAI Hyderabad. See, this is the first time I'm coming to this summit. And really, it is helpful to everyone, all retailers who are came to here, and we have seen so many of legends in front of us, like who has legacy from past 60 years to new, last year, I think, like before, like Red Rose as the recent. So many of people as coming and here and sharing of their knowledge, and there might be having some other problems who can be addressed by the RAI. So myself, I am Ravi Kumar. I'm founder of, co-founder of Sampoorna Retail India Private Limited. We started in 2009 in Manikonda with 1,000 square feet with the help of Vijayta Jagan Mohan Rao. And our chairman is Raghunath, and we formed a team, and we are the first generation who has started the business. So in the starting days, like we have a lot of, I think, starting problems, like first generation. But slowly we worked very hard, and now we are with the 14 stores, and in 2 more months, like we are close to the 20 stores. And I can proudly say that we are having a journey in Aparna gated communities. Most 5 stores we have in Aparna, and 2 stores in campus, ISB and IIT inside the campus. And the rest of them is outside. So yes, this is very great moment for me to hear and addressing this stage from here and everyone. And thank you to everyone. And like as like topic is going on, like how the what I say digital is evaluating future, like in the retail completely. See, I'm the example for that. See, when we started, it is in a manual. Completely, it was in a manual. I was the person who was checking the stocks and issuing the checks and giving order and everything. But today, we are operating in a cloud-based, 14 stores, inventory, and the data what we having in hand, and decision, quick decision, and everything. And the future also, like, it will demand more, and it will convert everybody as a omni-channel. So we should prepare everyone for the more to be emerged with this digital platform, and we should groom up ourselves and our team also, as well as we should train them. And I request RAI to same platform has to be used for the licensing the retailers and everything at one point. So thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. So now we move on to Mr. Ravi Kabra, who's the co-founder of Skippi, of Shark Tank fame, if I may say so. Ravi, you know, I mean, I'm sure a lot of people would have seen you on Shark Tank, and but still, we would love to hear from you. What has your journey been, and what is the role of technology that has impacted your sector?
Thank you, Yeshwanth, for that. Good evening, everyone. My name is Ravi Kabra. I'm the co-founder of Skippi Ice Pops. Ice Pops, simple word, ice Pepsis, what we had in your school days. We're the first ice popsicle brand of India, and we had the privilege to be on Shark Tank India, one of the series on Sony television, where we became the first brand to have the investment coming from all the 5 sharks, created great exposure for the brand. And since then, the brand has been growing significantly. We are across 18,000 outlets. Pretty proud to say that we are also in Sampoorna, we are also in Red Rose. So very happy to see that. And yes, for a brand of our size, in the last 2.5 years of our presence, we have covered quite a good milestone. We have done a lot of research, R&Ds on our product. We manufacture it in-house with our patented technology. And the reason why we are here, and again, like Ravi sir, this is also our first time with about 200 plus distributors pan-India and with a sales team of 250. I think there's a lot more milestones to achieve for a great product that we bring into the market. Very nostalgic, very fun-loving. And for all of you here who are being patient enough to hear all of us out, we have got freebies, samples outside in the hall. Before you please leave for the day, make sure you walk onto our stall and have the Skippi Ice Popsicle and give your honest feedback on the same as well. Thank you all. Amazing. This event is all about technology, and to be honest, even though I'm a brand and probably not a retail outlet, we have a lot of weightage towards usage of technology from day one itself. We have been using a lot of Salesforce automation softwares, which allows us to ensure that our team is performing to the best of capabilities, ensuring that there is a great amount of secondary sale which goes to the store outlets. In fact, we also use technology to plan the planogram as well. So how is the product placed in Sampoorna, or how is it placed in Red Rose, whether the facing is one face or two face or five face. Because as a brand, it is very important for you to be visible in an outlet, and that only generates great amount of brand recall from the consumer's perspective as well. And apart from that, at a manufacturing level, technology makes a lot of sense, especially because we work with 15 flavors or 15 plus SKUs in the segment. There are a lot of chances that things can go wrong at a manual level. So we try to make sure that technology helps us bifurcate what flavors to pick up and what kind of a packaging is to be done for that particular set of customers. So absolutely an important topic for tonight. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ravi. We move on to Mr. T. Sreedhar, who's the COO of Yoda Daily Table. Mr. Sreedhar, over to you. Okay, he's not here.
Yeah.
Over to you, sir, please.
Okay. Dear retailers. Hello? On? Yeah. Dear retailers, I'm Sreedhar, basically a chartered accountant, but my DNA is retail. Almost last 25 years, I'm in retail only, serving food retail industry, along with the major regional players in Hyderabad, as well as the national players. Now, as well as supermarket chain. This diagnostics chain is into AP and Telangana, and spread across Kanyakumari to Kashmir, connecting all the hospitals and giving services to all the Indians as well as the visitors at the best cost. And in pharmacy retail, we have spread across 14 stores in Hyderabad, and we are planning to go across AP and Telangana on the phase 1, and then next to other states. We are targeting not less than 2,500 stores down the line 5 to 6 years. And into retail, food retail, yeah, we have 5 stores only as of now, recently started, and we are looking for the gated communities in principle, because there is a segment, already Ravi sir has spoken about it. There is a segment in Hyderabad, particularly the main roads or the stream roads are economically not viable for a retail supermarket. So we are focusing on the gated communities. That's all from Yoda.
Thank you. From Estele Accessories, which is one of the legacy brands, I would say. So can you please introduce yourself and over to you.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you, RAI. We are a 35-year-old fashion jewelry brand, but more than a brand, we have a vision of women empowerment. So from the beginning, we wanted to empower women. So 80% of our employees are women. We believe in a concept of a product designed by women, manufactured by women, and sold by women to women of the world. We are available in 20 countries now, and our rising precious metal prices, we wanted to democratize fashion jewelry to the globe, but to India first. And one thing we wanted to do is every Indian woman should wear Indian-made products, and that was our first mission and vision when we set up. The thing is that when you do retail, it's a passion, and it's a patience game as well. And we've been there for 35 years, and the majority of our expansion has actually happened in the last 2-3 years. Patience game, and we want to continue doing so. Thank you.
Now we have here Mr. Zia Rahman from Red Rose Market. Over to you, Zia.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm Ziaur Rahman, CEO of Red Rose Mart. Our managing director is sitting right there, Syed Zishanuddin, and our chairman, Syed Hamiduddin. So we started our supermarket last year in January. Like we are not into retail, we are into FMCG since 35 years. So we are into spices, manufacturing of LED lights, and our main business is we are into tobacco. We are a known tobacco brand named as RR Pan Masala. So I've done my studies in London, did my undergraduation there, and then when I had come back, our chairman sir has told that he wants to open 100 stores in Andhra, Telangana. So there we had taken forward with our first store, and we have opened our first store in Falaknuma. So basically in Old City, in that part of the city, we don't have supermarkets. Probably D-Mart has their 2-3 stores and Reliance, but there are no local players in Old City. So we have opened our first store, which is our flagship store, around 26,000 SFT, which has Apollo Pharmacy in it, and we are serving more than 20,000 plus SKUs with a coffee shop and a bakery inside. So it's a different exposure for all the people staying there because they are not used to visit supermarkets. They are still into that Kirana concept where they go to the Kirana store and shop from there. So we have opened our first store, and then our second store also has opened in December in Kanchanbag, which is also in that city. And we are opening more 3 to 4 stores by end of the year. And we are majorly opening our flagship store at Satambrai, which is on the airport road. So Red Rose Mart, how it's different from other supermarket is we give a 6% discount on all the products. We don't sell any of our products on MRP. So 6% discount is minimum which is given. And 3 months back, we have also launched a new label named as Vis Fashion. So there we are competing Zudio, like a fast fashion brand. So we are also expanding that. And I thank RAI for inviting me here. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Fantastic of our panel discussion. I have one question. I mean, any one of you or multiple people can answer this. So since we're talking about the role of technology in shaping India's retail sector, especially in the last, I would say, 3-5 years, we have seen the advent of quick commerce players like, Zepto and, today in Instamart, and everybody's slowly venturing into that. And also we have, of course, now Amazon and Flipkart making big inroads since the last decade. So how exactly has, what do you think? I mean, this is no longer like, we have passed this scenario where we think these are not, these are here to stay, right? So how exactly as retailers are we going to, integrate them in our business plan and move forward? So would love to share, have some of you share your thoughts on this sector for the benefit of our audience here. Anyone of you can answer this question?
Yes, definitely I agree with you. There is a lot of competition with the big players, national brands and MNCs, everyone. As a local player, that is a big challenge for us. So now the time came for everyone. So it is a wake-up time for everyone. So we have to crack this situation and increase the sales with the adopting more technology and converting as a omni-channel and creating players only they can deal on the well-proven brands only, well-proven products only. But we know locally which product is going very fast, and based on that data, we can focus, and so we can overcome with the situations.
That's great. I think Ravi, you have a point here.
Yeah, I think from a brand perspective, I believe that everyone today has a utmost importance to be omni-channel. One cannot just be offline and one can ignore the online segment of Zeptos and Swiggies like you mentioned. Because as much as the penetration or there is a lot of loyalty with the offline customers, because obviously customers are not going to be driving 10-15 kilometers to get 20-30 rupees discount. There is importance of these Zeptos and Swiggies of India today because places where probably the retail outlet is still not constructed well, organized well, and places where the brand has not really reached well, Zeptos and Swiggies and Big Baskets of India are doing a fantabulous job. And it allows a brand like us to actually have a great amount of brand recall and brand presence in those cities where I probably don't have a distribution channel, or I'm not even connected with a modern trade outlet like the ones on the panelists today. So it is very important for everybody to keep a balance between the offline and the online segment, very importantly for a brand of any size, I would think.
Yeah, I completely agree. As Sir said, like people start comparing, like how is DMart selling on this? We majorly fall with that issue. Like people randomly they enter the store and they're like, how can you sell this product at this price where DMart is selling at that? And whereas technology is concerned, and I feel online and offline sales are rapidly growing day by day, but where we are sitting, offline sales are also good. So for us, both of them is working. Thank you.
I think it's a great insight. I mean, end of the day, you know, it's less than, I mean, I think about a decade back, less than 1% of the entire commerce was e-commerce. I think today it's about 7%, still 93% is offline. However, I believe that in the top 5-6 cities, including Hyderabad, where we are based in, I'm not really sure about the statistic of how much percentage, because the national average is 7. We do not know how much it's in Hyderabad specifically. So obviously, India is not one country or, you know, one state. In fact, Hyderabad itself has so many pockets, as you rightly mentioned. I mean, in certain areas, obviously, the offline penetration may be very huge. But again, if you look at markets like, let's say, Gachibowli, specifically in that micro market, the demographics may be different. So I think from what I understand from the esteemed panelists, I think a very specific micro approach is required rather than taking a macro approach, and because there is no one size that fits it all, right? And moving on to the next part of our discussion, we would like to discuss and analyze about supply chains in the Indian market, right? So we have seen that in the last 5 years for sure that there has been a drastic transformation in the logistics sector, primarily because of better infrastructure which has been improving year on year. So in this context, I would like you to give us you know, your thoughts on how is the present supply chain. I mean, we have players like cold, we use cold supply chain as well as, you know, regular. So obviously, so I want you to analyze what is the present state, what could be better, and what has already improved. So 3 things, right? So what is the present state and what could be better? I think 2 things could be great from a perspective with respect to your business.
So for us, as I had mentioned earlier, we also cater to the warehouse racks, which also includes racking for the cold storage facilities. And you know, we see that there is a huge you know, infrastructure that's been booming, and yes, the right way of efficient storage and in terms of the inventory management is something that is very, very crucial over here. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, supply chain, I say that it is in a vast subject from manufacturer to the end customer reaching. So it has involved so many of levels. So for example, if I take supermarket, so we depend upon the suppliers, we generate a purchase order, it has to go to the supplier, distributor channel, and they have to supply to us. In that between, like the time taking process, the tag period is not following by supply chain. So something like some problems which cannot be addressed, suddenly some breakdowns in the vehicle or different things. But that micro level management is needed from the manufacturer to the supermarket level. So we have to follow, and we should find some deeper solutions. And at least we should minimize, we should not extend the gaps, we should minimize that. And I hope that we can crack this also.
I think we are a very different example for supply chain solutions that we did for our product. Now, I'm sure everybody would understand that when I say Skippi Ice Pops, you would think that it is a frozen product which you can get and grab immediately. But actually, that's not the case. Skippi, when I started doing this brand, I realized that one of the biggest challenge in supply chain of India is a cold storage format. At least in the metro cities, it is still structured, but when you go to the tier 2 and tier 3 cities, the cold storage format of any product supply chain is very disintegrated and very, very challenging. And I've learned this through my 18 years of F&B experience. So one of the first things that we wanted to get right is we wanted to create a product which does not sell in a refrigerated format at all. Because then apart from the larger A+ category outlets, we would never find outlets which could have a deep freezer available there. And even if they did, we would have had to buy deep freezers to say all the 18,000 outlets that we are supplying today. And I would have been bankrupt by now already, right? So the best part what we did in terms of cracking the supply chain is Skippi is today manufactured, distributed and retailed across India in a liquid form in an ambient temperature itself. Because we knew the pains of a refrigeration supply chain and we didn't want to get into that. And that is why I'm proud to say that today you will find Skippi sitting in the confectionery aisle or the snacking aisle of all the major retail outlets in India. And that is a very good example that if you get the supply chain right for your kind of an industry, a lot of hurdle, at least 30 to 40% of the hurdle is already left behind. And that made us penetrate into cities like, I mean, I'm proud to say that Skippi is supplied in Andaman Nicobar Islands, Leh Ladakh, Assam, Mizoram today, because we avoided the entire supply chain of cold storage. So that kind of a perspective and introspection about your industry is very much required. Absolutely.
I think this is really a great innovation that you have done. You have actually skipped the supply chain altogether rather than trying to solve the problem. You have solved the problem for yourself. I think that's a really brilliant way of solving it. I would, any other panelists in this?
So fashion jewelry is not universal, the taste-wise, across India. What works in the north doesn't work in the south, doesn't work in the east and west. So with the right technology, we've kind of identified that. And because we manufacture everything in-house, we manufacture between 5,000 to 7,000 SKUs every month, we kind of tweak it at the manufacturing stage itself and then use the data to deploy those SKUs to the relevant geographies to target those customers. That has been important, and another big challenge for e-commerce players, the dreaded RTO, where they return to origin because of cash on delivery. Working with certain technologies, I don't think that prevalent yet, but hopefully that's the next step we kind of invest towards.
I hope there is no shelf life for you, so you can handle better.
Design life.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, we don't have a shelf life, we have a design life. So it should reach the stores and it's out of fashion.
I feel Ravi's pain because I myself am from the cold storage and ice creams industry. Even about 10 years back, it was so difficult to transport ice cream, whereas now it has improved significantly. But as you rightly said, only in metros probably, there is. I think we are only at 5% of what could be the, the way forward. So there is a lot of innovation that's happening in cold storage solutions via startups. Actually, a lot of startups innovating and trying to solve this last mile delivery in the food service space, especially. Over to you, like if you have any views on this subject.
Yeah, so supply chain, we are very new to it and facing a lot of issues. As Sir said, it's a lengthy process. So giving the purchase order, then coming it from the vendor, creating it in our warehouse, sending it to the stores, it's a long process. And I feel it's not set right for a couple of more years because supply chain is always a major concern for all the industries, I feel. So even we are working on it. Let's see. Yeah.
I think where we should aspire to as a nation is that, if you look at the most developed countries, obviously cold chain is actually the toughest to transport. And in cold chain, if the cost of transporting even a unit item, let's say a small ice cream, is not as high compared to you transporting it in bulk, that is where you actually get it right. Like for example, in the US or even in Dubai, you can actually, you have a system where you can transport a very small SKU, so across the country, right? So at a very less cost, logistics cost. So as a manufacturer or as a brand, obviously your cost of logistics is not very high. Whereas in India, the cost of logistics is extremely high. So I think in the next 10, 20, maybe it will take 20 years, but at least in the next 5 to 10 years, I definitely see this cost coming down, and I think there'll be a huge innovation happening in this space for sure. I think we should move on to questions. I would want to open up the panel for questions, to the audience. I'm sure there are some questions from the audience and would love to answer, the panelists would love to take those questions.
Before going to that, my request for REAI, it is that we should train the end customer delivery. So who is delivering to the end customer, like Swiggy or Zomato, like whatever it may be, whoever it may be. See, they are coming and joining in the app and they are delivering. But there is no customer experience, respect to the customer or respect to the business, right? So some grooming is required in that. So RA should bring some reforming in that and training the young generation, and it has to be treated as one kind of industry, logistic industry. So I think like Hyderabad, if it is in the first place, then it would be a better.
That's a great session, sir. Well noted. I think RA already has a training module, but obviously I don't think it is specific to one sector. I think definitely will be conveyed to the right stakeholders in this aspect. Does the audience have any questions to to ask, or else I can ask some more questions in this context? I see a question there, sir.
Yeah, I mean, since this also covers technology, I just wanted views from your side. What kind of data of the store or your business you are actually kind of fumbling with to ensure better customer connectivity?
See, AI solution is required in the PO, like seasonal wise. See, throughout the calendar, there is a number of seasons, right? See, summer, winter, there is a demand different, right? So for new one or like experienced persons or whatever, whoever it may be, the data should be analyzed according to the present season or festivals. So that data, if it is like AI can be given a good solution, I think it has to improve in the AI. We are looking for that platform actually.
We use it to analyze the top line and along with the ROL and ROQ formats, we use it to cater the customers. From our software side, we are quite good enough to cater the customers and the availability at warehouse as well as the stores also. We ensure that it is always 100% for sure. Sometimes due to the fill rate issues from the vendors, yeah, we are facing some issues, but rest of the time we are competent enough to cater the fulfillment of the customer orders, not less than 80 to 90%.
Yeah, for us, being a manufacturer, we're still striving on the in-house system, which is, or in-house process, which is the ERP. Starting, right from the beginning of the CRM, the customer database, which would help us in terms of analyzing which segment, which is if it's the existing customers or your new customers, from where you're getting, more of your business and where we can focus more on, and which product is fast selling and which product has high margin. That's something that, we're really striving on in terms of working in our in-house ERP system. Yeah.
Great. Any more questions from the audience? Okay, so we have about a few more minutes left. A lot of aspiring entrepreneurs are here in the audience, as well as people who are looking to scale up in a big way. I would want each of you here to give 3 points or whatever, a line of advice from your experiences on what you think are the keys of success, if I may call it so, or at least your learnings in that context, because success is always it's a work in progress. So, we can say that what have your learnings been that you can share with the fellow retailers here, which would be beneficial for the audience?
Okay, so for me, being a second generation, entrepreneur, for me, the acceptance of, my team or my company mattered a lot. It's not that, you have your founder, your father is the founder, and, you get into the business, things will be same. Initially, it was, quite challenging, but then eventually, things went right. So acceptance of your own, team is very crucial. We really strived in terms of customer satisfaction, in terms of our deliveries, in terms of the cost of our product, in terms of the quality, as well as in deliveries I meant as in timelines. There's so many stores that are opening up, and without, the racks or the storage fixtures, you cannot open the store. So we have a deadline. We have to meet those deadlines. So the entire team, literally strives to work on faster deliveries with a quality product. So yeah, these are the things. And for the aspiring entrepreneurs here, for the retailers, we are really looking at partnering with companies where, they're looking at specific storage fixtures for your stores where, we are ready to help in terms of designing and manufacturing. And also companies where we could work together, collaborate together, where our customers are looking at, one vendor who could give everything. Like, a one-stop, store solution where we could, it could be in terms of barcoding, it could be in terms of lighting fixtures, it could be some products that we do not deal with. So where we can collaborate and work is something that, I would like to welcome members here.
That's great, Sujatha. I mean, it's interesting that you spoke about being a second-generation entrepreneur. I'm sure a lot of people here will relate to you. And also the thing is, people talk a lot about first-generation entrepreneurs. I mean, I'm also a first-generation entrepreneur. But the fact is 90%, I believe, please correct me if I'm wrong, of the listed firms, the value created, 90% of all value that's created by listed companies across the world is not from first generation entrepreneurs, but from second, third, fourth, even fifth generation entrepreneurs, especially in Europe or in different parts of the world. So I think that's a brilliant insight we have. Sir, over to you about your advice and your learnings.
Yeah, my advice that for the young entrepreneur and the first generation entrepreneur, we have to involve in each and every corner of the business. And we should work hard and we should not look out our clock. See, morning when we entered into the office or like whatever the business what we are doing, in that there should not be a space until like we see the success. So I feel this.
Thank you, sir.
I think today the Indian market is so dynamic that there is no space for a Me Too brand. Whether it is a retail outlet or whether it is a brand in consumer space, I think there always has to be a unique proposition offering to the customer, which is a must. Whether you're offering to the customer discounts, great locations, cheaper products, newer brands, or whatever, there has to be a new offering to the customer in every space. Or otherwise, there's no reason why a customer will actually walk into your store. Either it could be convenience, price point, or something else. The second thing, I strongly believe that there is no reason for somebody to look at very complex problem solving in case if somebody is looking to get into entrepreneurship. Look at us, we have probably got the best and the most easiest product to come into the market. Nobody had imagined that ice pops can actually sell, but we got it into the market, and it's not a very complex problem that we're trying to solve. So there are a lot of opportunities in India which is right next to you, right sitting next to you, or probably you have just overheard it, but sometimes people tend to ignore it. There are a lot of opportunities in India because it's such a large country with so much of diversification that I believe that there are strong entrepreneurial chances that this is the time for everybody to try it out. And I'm certain that the chances of succeeding now is much more higher than it was earlier. So I think everyone should give it a shot as well.
Thank you so much, Ravi. I think Startup India is the way to go forward, if I may say so. Yeah. Sir, over to you.
I think your time is up.
I mean, the three of you are there. You can quickly wrap up.
Thing is, nowadays, this 10 minutes delivery has become a pulse for all the domestic order players. Everybody is looking at 10 minutes delivery, even for a palak or for a milk packet. This is happening everywhere. And retailers in Hyderabad, I'm not sure that how many are able to catch this goal. Zepto, Zomato, Instamart, whomsoever it is. The local players, for sure, they have to go inside and they mandatorily they should enter into this market and they should deliver the product to the customers. Unfortunately, everybody is running on the time front only. There are several topics like fulfillment, quality, service, price, everything is there. But after all these things, we are running after that 10 minutes time now. Already, if I'm not wrong, Big Basket also has entered into the 10 minutes. That is the thing. So big players like them, and giving a competition to the local markets over here, it is a challenge for everyone on the regional ground to ensure that how we are going to do the best for the customers. 1 day, 2 day, 10 days, 1 year, 2 years. If they are able to sustain, definitely customer will not go from that brand. Whatever the brand it is, definitely they will be waiting for us. Even today, if you check with any of the big players like DMart and other things, there is a slot checking, 24 hours, 48 hours, still people are waiting. For whatever the reason, if we are able to crack this, definitely there is a success through the digital and the online technology. For the grocery retail, we can see the sky is not the limit.
Thank you, sir. In the interest of time, would request you to wrap up quickly.
Wrap it up quickly. So our thing is, don't concentrate on the goal. Concentrate on your system that you've set. Look at your inputs rather than your outputs. You will get your results if you follow your SOPs. Make that a strict thing. And the second statement is going to contradict that. Always be nimble and question those SOPs and systems and keep improving. That's the only way.
Great, great. Thank you so much.
I'm too new. Facing same challenges, but we are just working on it. And like our main goal is to give the best customer service and give the best quality and give best price to the customer. So that's it. Thank you.
Thank you all, esteemed panelists. I think it's value to the esteemed audience here. On this note, we would like to take your leave. Thank you all so much. Thank you, RA, for organizing such a wonderful event here.